everybody, this is Waldorf.
It's a Stetler.
Continuing our beta rules review. Not necessarily review, just kind of...
And English is your first language, correct?
Next thing we have is the Battlefield Logistics chapter.
Part 4 of our multi-part series.
Measuring distances pretty much stay where they are.
Yes.
Nothing changed.
But it's important to know that an inch equals 2.54 centimeters.
That is important.
I just want to point that out.
Okay. In case that comes up. When.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess if you're going to be playing if you're playing in a country that doesn't use the standard measures, the ones that make perfect sense.
You mean 95% of the countries in the world that use the metric system, unlike this particular country?
I don't know why they would. It's such a ridiculous system. 10 millimeters equals a centimeter, and then 10 centimeters equal the next unit. That just makes no sense. It's dumb.
What makes no sense is in the 70s, the U.S. was the country that was pushing the most for
Yeah,
it.
but why is it 1 in 10, 1 in 10, 1 in 10,
Yeah,
1 in 10?
exactly.
Why not go from 1 inch? If you want a foot, you got to get 12 inches. If you want a yard, it's three of those.
I think we need to bring back, a foot is based on the size of the king's foot, so it changes every king.
Every year, every time we have a new king. And,
exactly.
A mile, it's 5,280 feet. Who doesn't know that?
Exactly.
And how much simpler is that than, a kilometer? What is that? Oh, I guess it's 100 meters, 1,000 meters.
Is a kilometer different than a kilometer?
Forget it. All right. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. Anyway, so that's why you need the 2.54. So if they want to go 10 inches, they know it's 25.4
exactly
centimeters. I guess is what I was getting at. Anyway, all right. Line of sight. They've kind of bring up the new word opaque terrain.
Yes, this is their new thing that you can see through, but you can't.
It's telling you that you can extend your straight line from the front of your base directly to the target without leaving the model's front arc and without being interrupted by opaque terrain or by the base of a model which has an equal or larger size. This is the big change here.
This is one of the big changes in the rules. So
one of the biggest.
So basically you can screen your guys against your opponent if everyone is the same size. You can't see through one another.
Correct.
This could have an impact. For example, if your war machine happens to be the smaller size, you can't just hide it behind your own troops.
You need you need to leave firing lanes.
A hill, or you're going to need some fire lanes for it.
Correct.
So that's going to change that. It's going to have, I think, a big impact on ballistic skill shooting, unless you have volley fire, which we'll talk about later. But how you line up those shots. So how you cast your spells if they're they're required. So this, I think, even more than the magic phase, is going to have I think this is going to have the biggest impact on the game as far as
the changes to the game.
Yeah, because people have to think a little differently than they did before.
I agree completely, because where your mage is, how you run a bunker. It used to be a bunker of 10 could hide behind the big 50-man unit and be fine.
And you may be okay against certain opponents running around characters by themselves, which you may have been afraid to do before because they get picked off by magic or by shooting.
Correct.
Because you can actually block the line of sight
where
to
you
them.
Won't be seen at all now.
Exactly. So that is a huge change.
It is.
And I'm actually very interested to see how it plays.
Yeah, I'm interested to start playing a few games with it and see how it turns
I do
out.
think on the surface it's a change I like, because I think it adds a tactical component to the game that it didn't have before. Which is pretty much everybody saw everybody, and
Yes.
Yeah, and it was just applying modifiers. So so it'll be very interesting. But big change.
That is a big change. Unit spacing, same as before. I mean, very few. The only thing they did is added the two different move types that were not there before.
Right.
Because it was just moving.
Yes, and it's still 1 inch unless.
The board edge is another change that's going to be at least a little significant. Units can move temporarily outside, because you used to be able to wheel off the board to get yourself back in.
Right, as long as only part of your unit went off the board.
Yeah, this is going to make a little bit of a difference, because now you get kind of trapped along the edge of a board, and you can get kind of railroaded there.
You have to think about it. I like that they've gone back to this, because I could see 25% being argumentative.
Yes.
Especially people who move very quickly. You know, it's like, you know,
Yes.
is that 25% or not? You know, and
Right.
that's, especially at angles and such, it
That
can be
looked like
quite.
26%.
Yeah, it's kind of
I think you need to put that back.
Exactly. So I think from a general simplicity, I like to see this. But
Correct.
people who like to play around the board edges, yeah, you have to be a little careful.
Have to be a little bit more careful. All right. All right, that's going to do it.
And that's for this section.
Thanks for listening.
Till next one.